Hello and welcome back to the Daggerwin Lumber Incorporated server with Freddy. You join me today for a bonus video for the day, doing a spot of weeding. Now believe it or not, look at the herbicide level that's currently in my tank. This is about to be the third of 4 fields I'm going to be starting de-weeding. 2 have already been done by me. And no, I have not refilled the tank. Quick and easy spot spraying. Make myself a bit squarer. So I can quite comfortably just drive around the field. Quite literally. Spot spraying. And it only targets actual weeds in the ground. For those that have done herbicide spraying without precision farming, know that this level of usage of herbicide is hellishly low. This is the advantage of precision farming and spot spraying. It offsets the cost of having weeds on, because normally herbicide's quite a big expenditure, along with fertilizer. That's why a lot of the time we do not have weeds on the server, because we play on the hard economies, and it does eat into budgets quite massively. We don't always have it turned off, just some of the time. And what have I ground out on? Come on. Round we go, there we go. I think it was the road. But yeah, bit of spot spraying of weeds in the rain. Going to hoe them afterwards. I'll find the hoe that has been bought. Hehehe. Sorry, Freddy's dirty mind at overtime work there. Those that get the joke will get the joke. Those that don't, you don't need to know. But yeah, just a little bit of easy field maintenance, which will increase our environmental score quite dramatically. Give it another pass at the bottom because of these lampposts. Make it a bit easier on the turns. Corn is a more difficult crop to spray for weeds because it grows slightly taller, slightly faster than the other crops. So it does make it a bit more of a challenge. Me realising that, the other field I need to do is corn as well. Fun. In fact, I may have 2 fields left to do. I'll have to check. One field that we planted has already been sprayed. I've done 2 fields now since I've logged on. So I'll get them all sprayed, run the hoe over, and go back to my favourite job. Which you can see up there, Freddy has been busy cutting down trees again. And there's more to come down. The sawmills have space, so they need filling. Little flashes of the spot sprayers at work, activating just individual nozzles, spraying only the weeds that need to be killed, which saves, as you can see from the percentage of herbicide still left, it is quite dramatic in how much it doesn't use. Now we have 2 tankers currently available for this sprayer. 2 small tankers, one filled with herbicide, one filled with fertilizer. So we can spray as required. And transport those tankers as well to the relevant fields, so you're not having to drive back and forth to the yard constantly just to get this job done. you can take the tankers with you. Or if somebody's on to assist, someone can come along and assist you and bring the tankers to the field, drop them off, and you can get stuff done. Nice, quick, easy job. Or if you have access to the workers, you can tell the workers to take the tankers to the field because they're small. Any tractor will pull them. Don't need a big one for it, or don't need a semi. Field on the right there, I've already sprayed. Field on the far right was sprayed in the last month by our farm manager. That one's done. I already know that one's done. I was online and saw him do it at the time. Awesome. One less field to do. We got all these fields planted. I did some, the farm manager did some. Worked together and got it done. Floaty bale again at the cows. Sort that out in a minute. Certainly not desperate for it because I made sure they were topped up before I logged off this morning. Yes, this is the same day, physical day, as my last video. It's just now 9:15 at night for me in the UK. Let's have a look, see if this field needs doing. If not, it'll be up to the cornfield. I don't think the poplar... Damn you, train. Poplar field will need doing. Yep, you can see this field needs doing. This field needs doing, so I've got 2 left to do. Turn off ploughing. There is no weeds in the poplar. Okay. Makes my life a little bit easier. Not that the poplar field's very big, so that would have taken all of about 2 seconds to do. Such a drama. Ooh. Literally just drive the field. I think it's actually spraying. These haven't already been sprayed. Yep, I saw one of the nozzles flashing then, so... Yep, it's definitely spraying. That's the other way to tell. They go from green to brown. And after they've been hoed, they disappear from the map completely. The reason for hoeing them is, I do believe, I could be wrong, but I believe if you spray them, then hoe them, actually removes them and increases the yield back up, because you do get a slight loss if you actually combine in FS25 with sprayed weeds in the field, because of course they go through the combine and they clatter up, which would realistically cause a yield loss in real life. That's why a lot of the herbicides that are used by real farmers are quite aggressive towards those weeds. Why it's usually done prior to crops actually emerging, because they specifically target certain weeds. So I do believe for FS25 it is beneficial for precision farming to actually pull these weeds out of the ground. I'm struggling to actually see them in this crop. Do you believe this is an oat field, if I remember rightly? Yes, by the plan, this is an oat field. So lots of fun. More little jobs for the farm. Thankfully, it's one of those jobs that doesn't take particularly long, as you're seeing. This is the second field I'm in, and it really isn't taking long to do this job. Drive about the field and just let the sprayer do its thing. Yeah. See there, it really isn't taking a huge amount of time to get this done. I do believe the weeder, or the hoe we've got, is decent working with as well, because we're not exactly short on money, so we were able to afford to go bigger. Make time a little bit easier for everyone. Means Freddy gets more time to chop down trees as well. I will keep referring to the map. It's just a little bit easier to deal with. I'll turn and go this way. Make sure I get the top edge of this. Spin a 180. I do believe it's back off this way. Well, verify by the map. Not fully, right, let's get across. That's good enough. And I see you coming this time, train. I saw you on the mini-map briefly, or the main map. So I'll hold off for you. We'll go get the last cornfield done. I'm not sure, but I think it might be worth as well. We'll have a look at the nitrogen level on precision farming. It may be worth me transferring this from herbicide to fertilizer and just giving the fields a once over as well, just to make sure they're at their maximum fertilized state. Just to ensure we're getting the best we can. Obviously the corn is going to be going to corn silage. That's what we're doing. That silage is going to make digestate. That digestate is effectively free fertilizer. And also money when we have too much. So it is an advantage all round. Silage is not as profitable in FS25 as it was in 22. It was actually quite strong in 22. Not as strong as it was in 19. 19, if you wanted to make money, you ran silage. And lots of it. It was still good money and well worth time and investment in 22. 25, they tried to push us away from it a little bit by making it not as profitable. It's still profitable, I will not dispute that, just not as profitable. You've got to do more of it to make decent money. Thankfully the map size we're on, that's not an issue, because we go big or we go home. And stuck at the railroad tracks. Yep. That's my mistake, turned a little bit late. So yeah, just more things to do on the farm. Profits are going good. Things are running well. I would definitely say. The farm is looking gorgeous. Just need to stick to the plan. We could use a few more hands to do trees or salt productions, animals, even field work. Quite happily love to log in and go, somebody go, oh no, don't worry about the fields, I've got them. Or, can you take care of the fields, I'm doing trees. My answer would be, yes. Happily. It is not a problem. Quite happy for people to do what they want to do and what they enjoy doing. More people on the server just means there's a bit less work for everybody else, or can join in and do some work. Same as if people just want to run semi-trucks with logs in and do that. Quite happy for them to do that. That's what they want to do. Not about what I want them to do, or the farm manager. We lay out the jobs and just let people do them. And that's this field done, which is the last field sprayed with herbicide. Go back to the farm, empty the herbicide, and find me hoe. Everybody loves a good hoe. Then we can play up and down the fields and see where we get to. We do have now as well herbicide storage, so if we do happen to run short in the tanker, there is somewhere for the players to buy it. You do not need a farm manager or moderator or admin on to be able to buy herbicide. And we have made sure it is full, and the access to buying more is available to everyone, same as diesel, seed, everything else. Same as we always do it, we try and make it available so that people can just buy it as required. Usually, especially if I'm jumping on, I try and make sure they're as full as they can be. So we do happen to run short on cash. All the silos are full, all the fields are full. We've got money in the fields. We've got seed and everything else in the silos, so we've got enough to harvest and replant comfortably. So when we sell that, we will have more money. And here is the herbicide place. Dump that back into storage. The reason I'm not using the tanker is I forgot about it initially when I logged in and just came and filled up here. Thankfully I didn't refill, so there is plenty of space for it. Back in the storage. I'll make it easy peasy. Now I've just got to find where our illustrious farm manager stored the hoe. And have a suitable tractor. Go driving. So leave that there. Grass cutting and grass equipment all nicely stored here. Lovely, gorgeous. Plenty of metal spawning, that is good. That wasn't me. Hum. Move that out of the way for now. And I've been on about cutting down trees on the farm that the farm manager had put in, but I did leave them alone for his decorative. Not now, there's plenty of trees for me to be cutting down, so I don't actually have a need. That's our mulcher. I recognise that one. Cultivator. I know he said he bought one. Is it still over at the shop? That's entirely a possibility. Nope, he cleared the shop out. Okay. Might have to revert to plan B. So there's always a plan B. We shall have a look in the categories. And I find the relevant section for it. I'm sure I've already scrolled past it, knowing me. I'm quite good at that. Not that. Weeders, here we go. So we've got the Pottinger Rotocare V 12400. You can see we have one. Only 12.4 meters. I thought we would have gone bigger. Doesn't require a huge amount of horsepower, which is good. That requires big at that level. That's awesome. It doesn't require a huge amount of horsepower either. Okay, Rotocare V12400. We'll go vehicles down to R. It's no problem when you've got lots of vehicles. It's the one thing I don't like with FS25. View on map. Apparently it is in the shed. So apparently I missed it. Why am I not surprised? There it is, on the back of the John Deere. So we will use said John Deere. Because why the heck not? And it's got narrow tyres. I do want to make sure this doesn't destroy the crop. Doesn't, but it doesn't pull out the weeds. Okay. Well, the weeds have all been dealt with, so we'll just part this up. Okay, so the weeds sprayed are as good as pulling the weeds out. Okie day. Well, the weeding has been done, so that's the main thing. So, yep, these are the two tankers I was on about. This one, black one, full of herbicide. This chrome one, full of liquid fertiliser. Not full, I think they hold more than that. But that's a good starting point. So, the one thing I was going to look at, I haven't actually forgotten. Nitrogen. I think that. Definitely that. That looks pretty good. That's not bad. Oh, 5%. We are going up. Oh, tasty. Right, I think... Whoop. Flying about. going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to fill up from here. Liquid fertilizer. Yes, please. Because whatever I take from here, as I'm not going to refill the silo, can be put back. I do believe he did set this up so it is on individual nozzle control as well, so it'll only spray in the required areas, not a blanket application. We will need the crop sensor for this one, which thankfully this vehicle comes equipped with, if I remember rightly. I know it's on the vehicle because I just saw it in the help menu then. So we're going to turn on a crop sensor. We'll start in this field. I think just give every field a gentle going over. Yeah, I can see little bits. It's those little bits that make a difference with precision farming. This is one of the new things with Precision Farming 3.0. There you can see it on the nitrogen map. It is making a heck of a difference. It's just touching up all those little bits to give a uniformed application. Yes, so this is something we're going to need to do. You see it there on the mini map. It's all going from behind us to a nice uniformed colour, whereas ahead of us is a little more often changing. Obviously that will change depending on the soil type as well. But you can see it there where it's gone from that light green to that slightly darker green, as it is making the field more uniformal. And again, it's not using a huge amount because it doesn't need to. It's only spraying the relevant areas it needs to spray. So yes, it's definitely going to be worth going over the fields with this with liquid fertilizer after we've got them planted properly. This will just help uniform out all those little bits that the planter doesn't quite get right with its nitrogen application. I think the main area where this is going to be a benefit is going to be that oat field. Try and get round without hitting the lamppost. There we go. Yeah, you can see the massive difference there on the mini-map. The beautiful colour of it. Just making much more of a nicer job of it. So we're going to cut down here. You see out here where it is just tidying up those little bits, and those little bits are going to make the difference in overall yield when we come to harvest time. Yes, this is definitely going to be beneficial to the farm. Because, oh yeah. But you do need the crop sensor on for this. That I cannot stress enough. Got to have that crop sensor on. The good thing is, it won't re-go over areas that have already been done. It's the advantage of the crop sensor. As you can see, I'm driving back over the same bit I've already done. It's going, no, you don't need to do this bit. You've done it. down. So it's going to be worth going over every single field. Let the planters plant their level of nitrogen along with the seed when they're putting it in. First stage of growth, deal with the weeds, run back over with the sprayer with nitrogen. Okay, it is just really tidying all this up, and it is glorious. This is really going to help with the yields. It's what I love with precision farming, because you can be a lot more precise when you get into it. Get these applications right. You minimise the amount of fertiliser you're using, because look at how little we've used and we're pretty much done with the field. You cannot argue that this is a bad thing. So we didn't go through that much fertiliser when planting these fields either. So we're using a lot less, gaining a lot more. How can that be a bad thing? There we go, a little bit of spray there. Head across here. Fold up, turn the crop sensor off because that means we can get the maximum speed. Now if we take a look at the big map on nitrogen, I'll just park in a relevant place. So yeah, that's looking so much better. So much better. We have a look at 39. I forgot we need to do that one. We've got 2 fields down here to do. Have a look at 39 now. We'll do this field because this one's pretty quick actually. Get across before the train comes and wipes me out. Yeah, so we'll head down to field 39 and you can see the difference before and after. It's alright me saying yes, this works, yes, this is what we need to do. Proof is always in the pudding. I can say, yep, this is going to work, this is what you need to do. You can physically see it. It does make a difference. So, there's before, field 39. Let's go. Or have I picked the wrong field that's over fertilised? Oh, that's if I turn it on. Crop sensor is on. I think this one's not going to be a good example because this one's over fertilised. The flag is where is optimal. The red line is where we currently are. So it's looking like this field for this crop is over fertilised. And this is another oat field, as you can see. So yep, I picked a bad example. Sucks to be me. Picking up a few little spots by the look of it, because I see it flashing. I'm not really seeing any change to the map. Or is that just the effect? I can see the application rate going up and down like a madman. I think I've picked a bad field for it. Right. Right, we know this field is no good. So let's head across to this one. You can see the before and after of that one instead, because I can tell already That is not great. Some bits will probably be where it needs to be, roundabout, but other bits are not. It's going to be close in a lot of places, but I think there are some places that are under. So, our crop sensor is still on. The reason you want the crop sensor on is because it's detecting the crops out where they are. It's not running off the historical data of what it is. It's picking up live data of what those crops are, what level they're at. Get across before the train comes. As a good old saying goes, halt! Who goes there? It's me, the sprayer. Let's get going before the train comes, because I think the edge is just in the way. There we go. You can see it was saying it was yellow. In fact, it's saying it's orange as we progress and pick up. There we go. You can see it's making changes to the field as we're going on. Live data. So the planter was saying one fertilizer state. The sprayer is saying, no, you're wrong. It's this state, and this is what it needs. Much lower fertilizer level required up here, but it's still, you can see on the mini-map, it is changing it. It is changing it for the better. So I'll make the field, oh, see there, some of the bits, minus 20, minus 25, that is really not good. So this is going to make the whole field much more uniform, meaning we will get a much better yield off of it. So this is definitely going to be worth doing regularly. So we say, oh, saying it's the level of green that's behind us, and it's actually not. The level of yellow in front of us, and it's not. It's an orange. Some areas red. This is why it's important to test these sort of things and go, is it really? Or is it? As we come across here now, look at that, we're minus 20, 25 kilograms in areas on nitrogen. That is really not good. Some areas are going to be much darker, of course. The good thing is it doesn't matter about overlapping a little bit with this. The sensors will automatically pick it up and adjust. You don't have to run right to the edge. Overlapping is actually quite good with this process because we've got those extra sensors. So I know I can just go, yeah, about here, turn in. Oh look, I'm really overlapped on that left hand side now, but it doesn't matter. Because we're just gonna get it done. The machine knows where it is and where it needs to spray. A lot of this technology is actually coming into the real farming world now as well. A lot of farmers and a lot of the manufacturers as well using digital technology to see what needs to be sprayed, what doesn't need to be sprayed. They're doing it specifically for weeds as well. So there's a lot of benefits to doing this. It uses far less chemicals, so there's less chemical cost, less chemicals on the food, which is all good things. I think we'll do reverse. We're going to head up to the closest cornfield from here, and then come back down. Fold up, get out of here. Head up to that cornfield, then we'll head down to the 2 fields down the bottom. But right, this video is pressing on, as I've just seen from the time, because I can sit here and waffle with the best of them. So I shall carry on with these 2 fields in my own time. I shall let you guys go. So until next time, take it easy.